I'd been written into a campus novel as cannon fodder. The queen bee, Seraphina, found a dozen love letters in my desk and accused me of having a crush on her godlike boyfriend. I pretended to cry, begging her not to open them. She insisted on tearing them open right there and had her minion read them aloud. I love you, Miss Seraphina. I want to be your dog. Watching you eat is the greatest happiness I could ever know. Seraphina's face turned ashen. The whole class stared, stunned. Only I was laughing inside. I was sound asleep at my desk, drooling, when someone yanked me up by the collar. I opened my eyes to Seraphina Westwood's stunningly beautiful face, now twisted with rage. Well, Mia, she spat. And here I thought you were my loyal little sidekick. I can't believe you'd go after my Jake behind my back. I snapped awake instantly. Miss Seraphina, I didn't. Someone framed me. Still trying to deny it? Everyone has seen you. You do nothing all day but stare at Jake. And you secretly wrote him over a dozen love letters. Seraphina's 2 followers immediately chimed in. It's true. We all saw her. I waved my hands frantically, on the verge of tears. No, I really didn't. We'll see about that. Seraphina shoved me aside and started rummaging through my desk. Sure enough, she pulled out a stack of pink envelopes. Seraphina glared at me, her eyes saying, the evidence is right here. How are you going to talk your way out of this? I rushed forward and hugged her legs, wailing dramatically. Miss Seraphina, please, I'm begging you, don't open them. You don't want me to? Then I absolutely will. I want to see just what kind of disgusting thoughts you have about my Jake. With that, Seraphina tore open all the letters and shoved them into the hands of a nearby minion. She crossed her arms, looking down at me. Read every single word out loud. I want to hear what trash this girl has written. Yes, Miss Seraphina. The follower picked up a letter, but after reading the first line, her expression changed instantly. She stared at me, her eyes wide with disbelief, her lips trembling as she struggled to speak. Seraphina was getting impatient. What are you dawdling for? Get on with it. Why yes, Miss Seraphina. The follower's voice trembled. She swallowed hard and began to read. I love Miss Seraphina. I want to be Miss Seraphina's dog. I wonder what it would taste like to be your dog. The very thought must be divine. Just imagining it makes me feel like I'm flying. With every word, the follower's face twisted in disgust, but she continued. And Miss Seraphina's hands, so fair and slender. I really want Miss Seraphina to use those pale, elegant hands too. Stop reading. Seraphina cut her off. Her face beat red, looking like she was about to completely lose it. Everyone else in the room had the same horrified expression. Only I kept my head bowed low, trying my best to hide my laughter. I warned you not to open them. This isn't my fault. As you can see, I've been transported into a book. I'm in a campus novel. Jake Reed is the male lead, and the woman in front of me, Seraphina, is the villainess obsessed with him. And me? I'm the daughter of Seraphina's housekeeper, who also serves as her pitiful, disposable sidekick. In the original story, my secret crush on the male lead is discovered, leading to horrific bullying from Seraphina. Unable to take it anymore, I jump off a roof. But now that I know the plot, there's no way I'm letting myself meet such a tragic end. So, I pulled an all-nighter and rewrote a dozen love letters, replacing Jake's name with Seraphina's. I used the most obsessive, creepy words I could think of. My plan was for Seraphina to be so repulsed by me that she'd kick me out of her house. Then I could take the savings I'd already squirreled away, escape this plot, and live my own life. Just thinking about it made me happy. My body trembled, and I almost burst out laughing. But now wasn't the time. I had to see the act through. I pinched my thigh hard, squeezing out a few tears. The dark circles from my all-nighter helped sell the tragic look. I slowly raised my head, looking at Seraphina with a choked voice. Miss Seraphina, I'm sorry, I have sinned. I dropped to my knees and knocked my head on the floor twice. My first sin was desiring you. My second was knowing you. My third was befriending you. My fourth was delighting in you. My fifth was thinking of you. I went on through a list of 10 sins, ending with all 10 sins, I deserve 1,000 deaths. I shall now depart, and this departure is for a lifetime. I'm sorry, Miss Seraphina, for letting you know about my disgusting feelings for you. I promise I will disappear from your sight completely and never tarnish your eyes again. I pretended to wipe away my few tears, then stood up and turned to make my grand exit. But I'd barely taken a few steps before someone grabbed me by the back of my collar. Damn it, who's stopping me? I turned. It was Seraphina. She stared at me, her expression fierce. Did I say you could leave? Serafina's face was flushed, and her toes curled inside her sandals as if she were undertaking some monumental task. With my huge dark circles, I looked at her mournfully. Miss Serafina, don't say another word. You, come with me. Serafina grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the classroom. The gossiping crowd stared after us, their mouths hanging open. Serafina dragged me out of the school, pushed me into her car, and took me back to her family's mansion. What was she planning? To tell me to pack my things and get out? That was exactly what I wanted. As soon as we got out of the car, I bolted for my room to pack my bags and run. I wanted nothing to do with this novel's plot, especially since I was a minor character who died in the first few chapters. But I was so engrossed in my packing that I didn't notice Serafina standing right behind me. Mia, what is all this stuff in your closet? Serafina stared in disbelief at my wardrobe. Crap, I'm busted. Like in so many campus novels, the villainous Serafina was a spoiled heiress who wore designer clothes once and then tossed them. It pained me to see it. Thinking I could sell them on Poshmark after I made my escape, I had secretly retrieved them from the trash late at night, but I never imagined she'd discover them like this. You didn't see anything. I spread my arms to block her view, the words tumbling out in a panic. Serafina just pushed me aside. To my horror, she pulled out a matching lingerie set from the pile. Damn it, why did my greedy hands have to rescue this too? Serafina held the lingerie set between two fingers and advanced on me. I backed away until my back hit the cold wall. She slammed a hand on the wall next to my head, trapping me. She dangled the lingerie in front of my face and said with disgust, Mia, you're a real pervert. You even collected my used underwear. I looked down, biting my lip, my voice trembling. I'm sorry, Miss Serafina. But Serafina pressed a finger to my lips. Shoo, don't say it. I get it. What do you get? You're really in love with me, she continued, a strange pride in her voice. So in love you can't help yourself. You even treat my old clothes like treasure. If I'd had water in my mouth, I would have sprayed it all over her face. The craziest part was that she didn't seem repulsed at all. In fact, she looked proud. Serafina tossed her hair and smirked. Liking me, you don't have to feel ashamed. I mean, I'm this beautiful. It's only natural that people like me. I tried to say something, but she glanced me over and said dismissively, all right, no need to apologize. I forgive you, for the crime of liking me. She emphasized the last few words. Now it was my turn to be shattered. After a moment, I managed to ask, so, you're not kicking me out? She crossed her arms, looking certain. You're terrified of being kicked out, aren't you? No, I'm not. Please, kick me out now. She rubbed her forehead as if pained. Sometimes, being too kind is a burden. Seeing you so obsessed with me, hiding it in your heart without any hope of reciprocation, it's pitiful. I'll do you a favor and graciously allow you to continue as my sidekick. Who wants to be your sidekick? I was so frustrated I started to cry for real. Serafina stepped closer and wiped a tear from my eye, a playful smile on her face. Oh, moved to tears. Are we? You like me that much? Like hell I do. Even as I cursed her internally, I clenched my fists and forced out a single, pained word, yes. Hearing that, Serafina covered her mouth and giggled. I sighed. Fine. A true hero can bend when necessary. At least now Serafina wouldn't bully me for supposedly liking Jake. After the love letter and underwear incidents, Serafina officially promoted me from a regular minion to her personal, top-tier sidekick. My status hadn't improved, but my workload had. Even fetching her tea was now my job. She'd say it with a look of charity, calling it a chance I'm bestowing on you to get closer to me. You'd better cherish it. Yeah, thanks a million. Mia, the lunch from the butler has arrived. Go get it so we can eat together, Serafina commanded, showing up at my classroom. For some reason, even though I was supposedly this huge creep, she wasn't disgusted at all and now wanted to stick to me like glue. Was this girl really straight? I had my doubts. Yes, Miss Serafina, I said, sighing as I went to get our food, but just as I reached the classroom door, someone rushed past and bumped into me hard. I lost my balance and landed flat on my butt. The lunchbox flew open, and food and soup splattered all over me. I looked up and saw a girl in a white dress with a delicate, fragile appearance. It was Lily Chen, the novel's sweet female lead. She had just transferred to our school. Serafina must have seen what happened from the window because she rushed to my side. She helped me up, her voice laced with worry. "Are you okay?" I shook my head. "I'm fine." "You're not fine. Look at your arm. It's all red from the hot food." Hearing her, I finally felt the searing pain on my arm and cried out. Serafina was furious. She pointed at Lily and yelled, "Do you not have eyes when you walk? She's a whole person. You couldn't see her? Apologize to her right now. Lily just gave us a cold, indifferent look, not moving an inch." "Are you deaf?" I said. "Apologize to her." Still, Lily didn't move, a mocking smile even appearing on her face. That smile infuriated Serafina. She strode forward and gave Lily a shove. I could see it wasn't a hard push, but Lily fell to the ground like a rag doll and instantly put on a tearful, victimized expression. I was stunned. It was only when Jake Reed came rushing over that I understood her game. Jake protectively helped Lily up, his brow furrowed as he glared at Serafina. "Serafina, are you bullying other students again?" "I didn't," Serafina started to explain, but Lily cut her off. With a tear-filled voice, Lily said, "Jake, I accidentally bumped into this student." She pointed at me, but I already apologized. This other student wouldn't let it go and insisted I get on my knees and beg for forgiveness. Hearing Lily's blatant lie, my eyes went wide. Serafina's face turned red with anger. "She's lying. She never apologized. Mia can prove it." Jake just sneered. "Everyone knows Mia is your little lapdog. Do you really think her testimony is credible?" Serafina looked like she was about to cry. "Jake, you don't believe me?" "It's not that I don't believe you. I just know your personality too well." Jake gave us one last cold glance before leading Lily away. Serafina stood there, sobbing. She leaned against me unconsciously, brushing against my injured arm. I yelped in pain, and only then did she remember I was hurt. She immediately took me back to the classroom. Serafina had someone bring ointment and insisted on applying it herself. As she gently tended to my burn, she tearfully complained about why Jake wouldn't believe her. She was crying so hard. A wave of pity washed over me. Honestly, that Jake guy, who couldn't tell right from wrong, seemed like a real piece of work. And Lily, wasn't she supposed to be a sweet girl? She was acting more like a two-faced snake. The two of them actually made the supposed villainous Serafina seem surprisingly kind and cute. She was even putting medicine on my arm herself. I was actually a little touched. After spending all this time with her, I hadn't found her to be that bad. She was just arrogant and spoiled, like a rebellious, pretty kid you couldn't bring yourself to scold. I looked down at her fair, beautiful face, and my inner admirer of beauty kicked in. I found myself staring, mesmerized. "Hey, Mia, are you even listening to me?" Serafina suddenly looked up, just as I leaned a little closer. Our lips met unexpectedly. It was a warm, soft feeling. The sweet fragrance from her body filled my senses. For some reason, I had the sudden urge to hold her head and deepen the kiss. But when our eyes met, Serafina's face was already burning red. She quickly pulled away, flustered. "Mia, that was my first kiss." "Funny, that was my first kiss too." She grabbed my collar, her beautiful face flushed. "Give me back my first kiss." I responded instinctively. "How? You want me to kiss you again?" Serafina looked even more mortified. "Mia, you're shameless." She threw the ointment on the desk and fled the classroom. I watched her frantic retreat, speechless for a moment. But then, I couldn't help but touch my own lips. The empty classroom was filled with the sound of my rapidly beating heart. After our accidental kiss, Serafina actively avoided me for days. So when she finally came to find me, I was pleasantly surprised. But her eyes were red, like she'd been crying. She complained to me, her voice thick with grievance. "Mia, that witch Lily has gone too far." "What happened?" "She's clinging to my Jake all day long. Because of her, Jake's attitude towards me has gotten worse and worse." "Ugh, oh. So she was upset because she was jealous over another guy, and that's why she came to me." A sudden tightness formed in my chest, and I didn't say anything for a moment. Serafina suddenly grabbed my arm. "Tell me, should I hire some people to teach Lily a lesson? Make her understand she needs to stay away from my Jake?" I froze. The original plot flooded my mind. Lily's appearance makes Serafina, who loves Jake, deeply insecure. She hires a couple of thugs to threaten Lily, wanting her to back off. But the thugs, seeing how beautiful Lily is, get other ideas. Lily is nearly assaulted before Jake heroically saves her at the last second. When Jake finds out Serafina was behind it, he's furious and cuts ties with her completely. He exposes the incident, and Serafina becomes a pariah. a bully everyone shuns. The scandal is so bad her family forces her to take a leave of absence from school and confines her at home for over a month. At first, I didn't want to get involved in this novel's plot, but right now, a voice inside me was screaming that I didn't want Serafina to suffer that fate, so I immediately shot down her idea. No, you can't do that. Her face crumpled even more. Then what should I do? Just stand by and watch Jake get closer and closer to her? Jake is close to her now because they're in the same honors classes. If you can rank higher in the next exams, you'll have a chance to get into their classes. Then you can be closer to Jake, right? Besides, I heard Jake has always admired girls with good grades. Serafina's fighting spirit was instantly rekindled. So if I improve my grades, Jake will like me more, not Lily? I nodded. Serafina was a woman of action. After taking my advice, she threw herself into studying, leaving no time to bother Lily. Serafina was naturally smart with a decent academic foundation, so it only took her a month to climb into the top ranks of the school. The day the results came out, she ran to find me, ecstatic. The moment she saw me, she gave me a huge hug that caught me completely off guard. Mia, you know what? I showed my grades to Jake. He praised me, and he said he has a big surprise for me at his birthday party. I'm so happy. Thank you. Listening to her joyful laughter, my own mood inexplicably sank. I patted her on the back and forced a smile. I should be happy for her, right? Soon. It was the day of Jake's birthday party. Serafina brought me along. She was dressed to the nines, looking like a princess, clearly full of anticipation for Jake's surprise. Jake soon made his appearance, but to my shock, he was holding Lily's hand as he walked onto the stage. He took the microphone and announced, "Welcome, everyone, to my birthday party. Next, I want to introduce the lady beside me, my girlfriend, Miss Lily Chen." The room erupted in applause. Jake and Lily smiled sweetly at each other on stage. I instinctively searched the crowd for Serafina. If I remembered correctly, Serafina and Jake had an arranged engagement. This scumbag's big surprise was announcing his relationship with Lily. A surge of anger and sympathy for Serafina filled my heart. I finally spotted her. She was staring intently at the pair on stage, her face frighteningly pale. The next second, she turned and walked towards the exit. I immediately followed, but the crowd was too dense, and I was much slower than her. After searching everywhere, I finally found her on the roof. She was sitting on the ledge, her skirt billowing in the wind, looking like she could fall at any moment. I was terrified. I rushed forward, pleading, "Don't do anything stupid. Get down from there. He's not worth it. A scumbag like that." Serafina ignored me, speaking as if to herself. Sometimes I wonder if anyone will ever truly like me in this life. My parents say they love me, but they really love my brother more. Jake said when we were kids that he liked me the most and would marry me when we grew up, but now he's broken his promise. The older I get, the more they think I'm misbehaved and bad. But I haven't really done anything, have I? Maybe it's just my fate to be disliked and rejected by everyone. Her voice was already choked with sobs. I wanted to tell her no, that it was all because of the villainous role she was forced into. Serafina continued, "Mia, you know what? When I found out those love letters were written to me, my first reaction was happiness, because it meant someone liked me that much. That's why I couldn't kick you out. If I drove you away, what if I was left with no one who truly liked me at all?" Serafina, she was just a girl starved for love. A sour feeling spread through my chest. How could I tell her that those letters weren't written out of genuine feeling? I struggled to speak, actually, but at that moment, Serafina broke down completely, covering her ears. "I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Please, don't tell me." She was crying so hard her body shook. Seizing the opportunity, I rushed forward and pulled her off the ledge. Serafina struggled, yelling, "Let go of me. You're all liars. All of you, lying about liking me." I wrapped my arm around her waist, tilted her chin up, and kissed her hard. I didn't let go until she stopped struggling. "Is that enough to prove that I like you?" Serafina was breathless, her pretty face covered in a blush. She covered her mouth, speechless for a long moment. "Serafina, this is the first time I've ever confessed to someone. I want to say that I like you. I like you a lot. I know you like Jake, and you might not be able to accept my feelings right away, but that's okay. I can wait. I'll wait as long as it takes." I took a step forward, looking at her seriously. "So, my dear Miss Serafina, can you give me a chance to pursue you?" My heart was pounding. I was terrified, just like anyone confessing their feelings, worried about rejection. Serafina didn't answer for a long time. Okay, I understand. I forced a smile and turned away in disappointment, but the next second, she grabbed my sleeve. You can. Hearing her words, I turned back in surprise. But I have to tell you, this young lady is not that easy to win over. Seeing her acting all proud and sunder-like, I couldn't help but chuckle. I took her hand and said solemnly, I'll pursue you properly, but this is my first time pursuing someone, so if I do anything that makes you uncomfortable, please let me know right away. In the following days, Serafina had no time to worry about Lily and Jake, because I was constantly by her side, telling her cheesy pickup lines. Miss Serafina, want to see me do a magic trick? Go on. I did nothing. After a few seconds, I said, done. What did you change? I started liking you even more. Serafina playfully punched my arm, but she was blushing. Mia, you're so corny. Ha ha ha. I thought things would continue peacefully until the day Serafina accepted my confession and we got together, but I never expected the original plot to rear its ugly head again. Serafina was accused by Jake of bullying Lily. Jake confronted Serafina, grabbing her by the shoulders, his face a mask of rage. Why would you do that to Lily? If I hadn't gotten there in time, she almost. Serafina, how could you be so vicious? Just because I'm with her, you wanted to kill her? Lily has a heart condition. She's still in the hospital because of you. Serafina was stunned at first, but then she angrily shook off his hands. Jake, are you insane? Framing me once wasn't enough. You have to do it a second time? What makes you think I would hurt Lily because of you? Serafina tried her best to defend herself, but it was useless. Lily was, in fact, in the hospital, and in everyone's eyes, Serafina had always been an arrogant, malicious person. In an instant, the rumor that Serafina was a vicious bully spread throughout the school. She became a social outcast, shunned by everyone. I could feel how depressed Serafina had been these past few days. She had no appetite and lost a lot of weight. I pulled her into my arms, my heart aching. Don't be sad. Even if no one else believes you, I do. Serafina had been with me the entire time. How could she possibly have had the chance to harm Lily? I knew someone must have orchestrated this, and I had a pretty good idea who. I immediately started gathering evidence for Serafina. I asked other students who were there that day about the thugs who had supposedly harassed Lily. As luck would have it, I ran into them just as they were being released from juvenile detention. I approached them with a few friends and asked what happened. They were furious, complaining that Lily had tricked them. They told me that Lily had approached them first, offering them a large sum of money to act out a scene with her. They thought it was just a simple act, but they never expected Jake to show up and get them sent to juvie, on top of having to pay a hefty fine. I calmed them down and offered them a deal. If they cooperated with me to clear Serafina's name, I would pay their fine and give them an additional reward. They agreed immediately and even offered to provide evidence. I breathed a sigh of relief. With both witnesses and evidence, I should be able to clear Serafina's name. I just didn't understand why Lily would do all this. The truth came out. One day, a furious Lily confronted me. Why are you helping Serafina? She treats you like a servant. Don't you hate her? She's very good to me. Why would I hate her? Someone like Serafina being good to others? Are you kidding me? Lily's face was a mask of disbelief. I frowned. How long have you even known Serafina? How can you be so sure what kind of person she is? Serafina, she's just a villainess whose only purpose is to make my life miserable. Hearing that, my eyes widened in shock. What did you say? I'm warning you. If you know what's good for you, stop helping Serafina. She's the villainess. I'm the main character of this world. Lily, from your actions, you seem more like the villainess. Serafina never did anything to you. Why are you doing this to her? Because I had a prophetic dream. In the future, she's supposed to bully me in all sorts of ways. Since she's destined to meet that end anyway, why shouldn't I just speed it up? Why does she, the villainess, get to live such a privileged life while I, the heroine, have to work part-time just to get by? I was so angry I could barely speak. It seemed that ever since I entered this world, all the characters had gained their own consciousness. They no longer wanted to follow the original plot like puppets. Except for Lily. She stubbornly believed she was the center of the universe, and she had a severe case of envy, unable to stand seeing others better off than her. So she resented that Serafina, the villainess, had a much better family background than she, the heroine. I took a deep breath and replied, "We can't choose where we come from, but we can choose the path we take in life. You brought this on yourself, ending up scorned by everyone. Your absurd prophetic dream is no excuse to hurt her. She's the villainess. She deserves to die, and so do you, for helping her." Lily suddenly flew into a rage. She lunged at me and wrapped her hands around my neck. I struggled desperately, but she was surprisingly strong. The feeling of suffocation intensified, and my breathing became more and more difficult. Just as I was about to pass out, I heard Serafina's voice screaming my name, "Mia." The next second, Serafina yanked Lily off me and slapped her hard across the face. She rushed to my side and pulled me into a protective embrace. Seeing the bruising marks on my neck, Serafina's eyes turned red. "I'm so sorry. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have gotten hurt." I shook my head, wanting to say it was okay, but the pain in my throat made it impossible to speak. Seeing me like this, Serafina's expression grew even more pained. She stood up and pointed at Lily. "You can frame me all you want, but you never should have touched the person I hold dearest. You just wait, Lily. I will make you pay for what you've done." I tuned out the rest of her words, my mind latching onto one phrase, "the person I hold dearest." My cheeks started to feel hot. Did this mean I'd won her over? Serafina scooped me up into her arms. As I settled into her fragrant embrace, I belatedly realized just how strong she was. She carried me to the nurse's office. As soon as she set me down, she anxiously examined the bruises on my neck, but to me, the pain was insignificant. What mattered was what she had said. I grabbed her hand and looked at her seriously. "Serafina, am I really the person you hold dearest?" Serafina froze for a moment. After a beat, she coughed lightly into her fist. I guess so." "What do you mean, you guess so?" "I need a clear answer." Her face blushing, Serafina gave a small nod. A huge grin spread across my face. "Yes, I won over the heiress. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I'm so happy, so happy, so happy." Serafina covered my mouth. "Shoo, be quiet. There are other people here. Hee hee. I was just so happy, I couldn't help it." From that day on, Serafina was officially my girlfriend. Under the pressure of public opinion, Lily dropped out of school and apparently never came back. Instead, she went to live with Jake, completely dependent on him. But then Jake's family company ran into serious financial trouble. Desperate, Jake shamelessly brought Lily to Serafina's house to borrow money. Of course, Serafina refused, instead giving them a piece of her mind before kicking them out. Seeing them go, I shook my head. You reap what you sow. On Serafina's birthday, it was just the two of us in her room that night. After she blew out the candles, she clasped her hands together to make a wish. I asked mischievously, "What did you wish for, Miss Serafina?" She immediately replied, "To be with you forever." I felt a little shy, but silly. You know, a wish doesn't come true if you say it out loud. "I won't let anyone stop us from being together," Serafina said with conviction. She took my hand. "Mia, you know, I feel like you're my knight. You've protected me so many times. If I'm your knight, then what are you to me?" "Me? I'm your princess." "Of course." Serafina's proud, heiress nature resurfaced. I chuckled softly. "What, you think I'm wrong?" she asked, puffing her cheeks out a little. "No, you're beautiful. Whatever you say is right." I held her hand and placed a gentle kiss on the back of it. "Your Highness, I am willing to be your knight for a lifetime." Serafina wrapped her arms around my waist and kissed the corner of my mouth. "Then I'll be your princess for a lifetime." Seeing her shy expression, I suddenly couldn't hold back anymore. I wrapped my arms around her, pushed her onto the bed, and kissed her deeply in return. The night was still young,